Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DreamersPro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And I always say, man, we got a hell of a show for you guys here today. But before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as you guys know, Marcellus Wiley is a regular guest on the show. With the Super Bowl coming up, we're definitely going to have him on here next week, Monday, I believe. So we're definitely going to talk about the Super Bowl and a whole bunch of other things, right? So very exciting, very exciting stuff. And while Marcellus was on the show, we talked about different things. Now, there's some people that, no, not some people, the vast majority of people that have seen these Marcellus shows absolutely love him. And that's one of the reasons Marcellus like, man, we got to keep it up. Of course, there are a few haters out there that have nobody on their show. But meanwhile, they can tell you who's good or who's not good. They have nobody. They invite nobody to their shows. But meanwhile, they're, it's the world we live in. But anyway, so last week we did a show and we were reacting to some comments that Gilbert Arenas made about the Clippers when he went on Shannon Sharpe's show, Nightcap. And when they were there, they were joking. He said in a joking way, not like he was dead serious, but he said it in a joking way where he essentially said that the Clippers are the hoes of the NBA. I think he even went on Paul George's show and they asked him about it, but I think it's all in fun, right? So while Marcellus and I were discussing that, I asked him, I'm like, why would Gilbert Arenas say something like this? I said, I personally believe that Gilbert Arenas don't believe half of the stuff that he be saying. So when I posed the question to Marcellus, Marcellus Wiley, gave him his honest opinion, right? And in a fun way, nothing personal, just fun, right? Sports way. So what happens? I shoot Gil a message. I'm like, yo, we getting at you right now. We getting at you, right? I told him, like, we getting at you. So Gil was like, all right, I got you. I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it. So I knew Gil was gonna take some time because he's probably doing other stuff, but he was gonna get back at us. So what happened yesterday? Gilbert Arenas does a show, responding to what Marcellus Wiley and I had to say. He was roasting me in the beginning. He had some jokes. It was pretty funny. And I posted it on my IG story. My handle, for those of you not following me on IG, my handle is CTABANZ. So what happens? Gilbert Arenas then goes on his show, and it's a long show, and he starts to kind of respond to the points that Marcellus and I were making, and he was going at us, right? Especially at Marcellus. So what we want to do is we want to play some of the things that he had to say. It's a very long show. So if you guys want to listen to it, it's in entirety. You can go listen to it on his channel, No Chill Gil, hear it in its entirety. But what we want to do is we want to play some of the highlights that we got from it, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say here.
So let's see what these two got to say about little old me.
Switch gears to the team across the hallway in the Los Angeles Clippers. Everybody knows, but you and I both support the Clippers.
You and I both. Look at that. Marcellus happy. Ooh, them Clipper fans happy. When did Charles start liking the Clippers? Boy, you pandering son.
I want to get your thoughts on this because I wanted to ask you about it before, and then I'll get into the Clippers and a whole bunch of questions I have about that. Gilbert Arenas was recently on Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe. He also went to Paul George's show. I don't know if you know Paul George, but I know you know Gilbert Arenas. So he went on there, and the Clippers seem to be the team that everybody poo-poos on and makes fun of. And he essentially called the Clippers the hoes of the NBA, right? My question to you is, why do you think Gil feels that way, to feel like, okay, you know what, man, this team is the hoes of the NBA when they have the richest owner in sports, they've been playing well for years. And
is he not talking about the Clippers? I'm sorry, I'm confused here. Like, I'm confused on the team that they are talking about. So let me just make sure that they're talking about the Clippers themselves. Okay. Let me just make sure.
He essentially called the Clippers the hoes of the NBA.
Okay,
right? Yeah. My question to you is, why do you think Gil feels that way, to feel like, okay, you know what, man, this team is the hoes of the NBA when they have the richest owner in sports, they've been playing well for years, and still felt the need to say it? What does he know about the Clippers that we don't know?
Everything. It's the Clippers.
I don't think he knows anything about the Clippers other than the obvious. They haven't won a championship, so you can say whatever you want about them in this world of you're a champion or a bust. And I think that's what a lot of players are doing. And we talked about this, how former players are now buying into what the media has told us for decades.
That's false. No player values championships like that. That's a media thing, right? I've said what? I will take the money over the championships, right? Because the championships doesn't tell you how good you were as an individual, because it's a team thing. Media uses championships to solidify who is the greatest, right? Yeah.
All right. So this whole narrative of like, you got to win championships or else, it really wasn't at the beginning and the origins of sports in terms of greatness, right? You didn't have to do that. And then
I'm the one who said it, right? So he's speaking facts of the same facts I was speaking. When I said Michael Jordan was considered the greatest man of all time in '89, he had no rings. Everybody pushed back. Oh, what do you mean? Well, history says he was the greatest player to ever walk planet Earth without a ring. So why are we using rings now to put the GOAT stamp on when the GOAT himself didn't have one? That was my argument.
And when it started to insert itself, it wasn't even uniform. Like, if that's the case, Bill Russell's the best player ever, and shut up. Everybody shut up. And we don't shut up. We keep talking because we know we're just.
Look at Charles talking about, yeah, I agree. Bitch, no, you don't agree, Charles. Because I'm saying the same thing Marcellus Wiley is actually saying. But you agree with him. Wow.
Just talking out of both sides of our mouth. It's not just championships. It's not just how many rings. There's much more to it. Gilbert, look, he's blown up. He's blowing up. He's big time now. And, you know, some of those habits you acquire and some of them you got to break. I love the fact that when he said that, everybody looked at him like, dog, what are you doing right now?
Who's everybody? A bunch of Clipper fans? A bunch of Clipper fans. Everybody stop it, man. Just Clipper fans, bro.
What's really going on? Like, have you really just turned in your player's card to just say they're the hoes? Like, this is what has happened to our media. You got to be so provocative. You got to.
The funny part is, me and him, like, we're friends, right? That's my dog right here. He's a Clipper fan, big time Clipper fan. I'm a Laker fan, right? I call them the flippers. He called us the fakers, right? Him, Clipper Daryl, right? That's the crew. Me, Snoop, that's the crew, right? So this battle's been going on forever, right? Has nothing to do with chips. Like I said, they can win and beat the Lakers 0-4, and they can lose every game after that. To Clipper fans, they won the championship. That's just the rivalry here.
Be so extra. No sentence can end with a period anymore. It got to be an exclamation point or you didn't say shit. And
the Clippers are the hoes, period, of the NBA. See, of the NBA is the finish of it is not. it's that's the end. The whole part wasn't. Now, let's talk about what hoes mean. Hoes is bottom line, the bottom tier. It's the end of it, right? You got, your wives and all of that. And then when you get towards the bottom, streetwalkers, hoes, hookers, right? Those are the worst of the women, right? We get it, right? Now, let me try to figure out if the Clippers will be considered the hoes of the NBA, not the classy little broads up there at the top, the hoes.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say. First of all, let me just say this now. If Gilbert's watching this show, I want to make it be known that Marcellus is going to be coming back on Monday, and he's going to be getting back at you for these comments. He definitely going to respond to this. So y'all definitely, the audience, want to be on the lookout for that. We're dropping that the beginning of the week. The beginning of the week. So be on the lookout for that. We definitely going he definitely going to get back at you. But anyway, you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say. The only problem is this. Gil is saying that the media uses rings as a way to discredit certain stars when there's situations in which these guys are clearly good, but we're going to use rings as an argument to diss them. And he brought up the argument of Michael Jordan. He was like, Michael Jordan was already considered the greatest player of all time, I think before he even won a championship or before he even had 18,000 points. This is even before the rings, right? In response to what Marcellus said, saying that you're a former player and now you're playing the games that the media plays by basically going out and saying all of these crazy stuff. And in the case, by calling the Clippers the hoes, you're saying that. But Gil is saying, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not the media. But then Gil turned around and called the Clippers the hoes of the NBA because they never won any rings. Would you be calling the Clippers the hoes of the NBA if they had 2 championships as an organization? Well, hell no. Hell no. There are only a few organizations in the NBA that have multiple championships. Very few. Very few. The Spurs have 5. The Bulls have 6. The Lakers have 17. What is it? The Celtics have 17. You have a few other. I think the Miami Heat have 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. There aren't so many. You have the Knicks, and they're not a bunch of teams out there with like 5 championships. 4. No, there aren't that many, right? You have the Warriors, of course. So Gil is saying that that's what the media does, but then he's turning around and calling the Clippers hoes, the hoes of the NBA, because they never won anything. So it's like, Gil, which one is it? Are they the hoes? And if you're saying that they're the hoes because they haven't won, but then why would you then say that only people in the media use this ring thing as an argument when you said that the majority of people were looking at Jordan like, bro, this is the greatest player we've ever seen. And this dude doesn't even have 5 championships. He's the greatest ever. So I think what Marcellus was trying to say was, don't do what the media and these guys are doing. Don't do that. Like, you should know better, especially as a former professional athlete. Not like, I mean, you played in the best league for your sport in the NBA. So I think that's the point. But then Gilbert Arenas did it again. You know, he got himself. To me, I think he'll be saying this to basically troll you dudes. I told him that. I'm like, man, there's no way. Like, I personally believe that Gil thinks Kobe's better than LeBron. Yesterday, they did a segment on Gil's Arena when they were talking about what it was like to guard Kobe. And he went into this I'm not a hater, I'm going to give it up. He went into probably his best analysis, one of the best analysis I've heard on Kobe Bryant in terms of playing against him, defending him, and all of that. And I'm like, at the end of all of this, you're going to tell me that there's another dude better than him outside of Jordan? I don't believe you, man. I don't believe you. So that's what Gilbert Arenas had to say. I want you guys to be on the lookout for the full show where Marcellus Wiley responds to Gilbert Arenas, I believe on Monday or Tuesday next week. So be on the lookout for that. Anyway, what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this back and forth? Whose side are you on? Are you on Marcellus' side and Dreamers Pro, or you're on Gilbert Arenas' side? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.